Alright, so here's what we're looking to do. Just got the Sony A7S. Got a call from a friend a few months ago saying, hey, the photographers in Vegas are ridiculously expensive. They're pretty much only going to do the ceremony, so pre-wedding portion and post-wedding portion. Can you come out, and if you come to the wedding, can you help out with that portion? And of course, if close friends ask, we'll try to do our best to accommodate it. So what we're going to do is a 3-day adventure to Las Vegas, put the camera through its paces. We'll be testing the video autofocus. I mean, I've stayed up to 3 a.m. last night trying to figure out how to do these settings. So we'll see what happens. I have the MC-11 converter so I can use my Canon glass, and then I have one Sony lens, which is a 35mm 1.4, which I'm shooting on now. So we'll see what happens. It's gonna be a great time. More to come. Alright, so we're about to get ready to board the plane. We got zone 1, so hopefully we'll get on pretty soon. And we'll head on out to Vegas. Have a good time. Still trying to figure out this Sony A7III. Apparently, you can only do this type of autofocus when it's in movie mode. You can't do it in one of the memory settings. So there's different settings for being behind the camera versus being in front of the camera. So we'll explore that more. Check it out. So, I've had the Sony A7III for about probably about a month now. So I really want to do is kind of give an overall review of it. I'm actually shooting on it now. So one of the best things about it is that the camera does autofocus, and that was the key thing for me. It does autofocus, it does 4K, it does 120 frames per second and 1080p, all things that are easy to look up. But what I want to get into is why some of those attributes were really good for me, but also some of the concerns I have. So starting with from a video standpoint and from a hybrid shooting standpoint, I think the camera is amazing. I'll be completely honest with you. I did a couple of videos on my family, kind of doing talking head group interviews of my family, and one of the things that was nice that I could do, because I can shoot in 4K, I was able to punch in and do pans and tilts and things of that nature with the 4K footage. So although I had a nice wide angle, I was able to punch in and do some close-ups, pan across all three of the talkers. In fact, we'll maybe overlay some of that video, but it allowed me to do some of those type things that just wasn't possible with the Canon 6D. So that's one of the big benefits that I've automatically noticed from really using the Sony and really getting, after you get the footage, getting it into Final Cut Pro, or if you use Adobe Premiere, it really doesn't matter. But once you get that footage into your editing system, there are little things that you can do that some of the other cameras just won't allow you to do because they're only 1080p. Another benefit of it is the lightweight. It's so light. It's ridiculously light. Even with the heavier lenses, it's still light. So I am a Canon shooter. I bought the MC11 adapter. Works great with pictures, never have any problems with that. I've actually used that to do a lot of the manual video focusing. But all that works amazingly, and even with the large lenses, it's still pretty light in comparison to my Canon 6D with the battery grip. So I'm saving weight that way. So I really do enjoy that. Alright, so some of the things that I don't like about it. Switching between video and stills, I still need to work out a system that allow me to quickly do that. I'm using some of the memory settings, but it's just not as quick of a switch over. There is a loading time when you switch from memory 1 to memory 2 to one of the other settings. There's about a 1.5 to 2 second loading time. So when you're in the midst of the event, and you know, crazy me, I went out the first weekend I got it, took it to Vegas to go shoot a wedding. But hey, that's how I learned. So that being able to quickly switch in between video and stills, I still need to work out something in that sense. One other thing that I noticed is, and part of it is me not being great with color grading, but in Vivid from a video standpoint is way oversaturated. The blacks are too black. You almost lose detail in the black. So and you'll see in some of the videos I've tried to color grade it some, but I really want a system where I don't need to do a bunch of color grading. So I'm still trying to figure that piece out. I'm actually shooting this one in S-Log 2, and I'm gonna see if I can just do a simple S-Log conversion and get to the middle and kind of reduce my workflow on editing. So we'll try that, but I still feel like, and it's still me being new to the Sony platform, I still feel like as far as confidence and speed of shooting with reference to stills, I still think I'm a lot better with the Canon, and that's because I just got it. You can give me a Canon, I can close my eyes, I know everything is, and I can just shoot. I've gotten into customizing some of the buttons, and that's amazing that you have that level of freedom to customize. The only downside is there's like so many options. It's going to take you a month and a half to 2 months to figure out how to set up the camera the way you want to have it set up. But again, it's very customizable. So those are some of the things that I've noticed. I'll be honest, I don't know if I'm going to invest in any Sony lenses at the moment. I do like this camera for what it's worth. If Canon comes out with a mirrorless camera, a mirrorless full frame that can match everything that the Sony does, but offers a native attachment that would allow me to use all of my Canon lenses, all of my Canon lenses with no issues, I'll be honest with you, man, I'll probably sell this Sony A7III in a second and jump over to Canon just because I'm used to that platform. But it's nothing against the Sony. That's just me being more comfortable with one brand over the other. I'm hesitant to purchase any Sony lenses. I have the Zeiss 35mm 1.4, which I think is a great lens. If I do buy anything, it'll be a 16 to 35, with the idea that this is primarily going to be a camera used for hybrid shooting. So I might do some wide stills, but primarily it's going to be used for video. And I'll use my long lenses on my Canon until I get really, really comfortable with it. So that's one of the things that we kind of deal with now. I've actually done a ton of video. That's one thing I will say about the Sony. With respect to the ratio of stills versus video I've been doing, ever since I purchased the Sony, I'm doing loads of video. It's just the video quality is so good. There's 4 pit bulls back there playing with each other. Anyway, the video quality is so good, and it's once you have it set and the fact that it does autofocus, I mean, it's great to do video with. I just feel like, why not shoot video? I've done a ton of like random videos of kids, of my nieces and nephews and my daughter playing, and just little simple stuff like that to kind of use the hey! Sorry about that. These dogs. I've shot pretty cool videos of like my nieces and nephews sliding down, slipping slides, at 120 frames per second to kind of give you that smooth. So things like that I really do enjoy about it that I can't do with my Canon. But if I'm being very honest and talking about a system where I just know Canon and I really like the stills, and I still need to shoot more stills. I need to take this camera in the studio and do some studio shooting to see how I feel about it. Right now, I love it from a video aspect. From a stills aspect, I'm still getting used to it. I love the size of it. If I'm going on vacation, I'd much rather take this than any other camera because of the form factor. I think it's filling that gap that I wanted the Fuji to fill, because Fuji was just a nice small camera, and so this is a nice small camera. I haven't messed with any of the JPEG based profiles too much to kind of see how they render pictures. I've pretty much been doing video. I mean, I went out and got a Rode mic to sit on top of it, and I've really been doing a lot of videos. And from a video standpoint, man, you talking about turning out product. I haven't turned out a lot for my YouTube channel, but I've made maybe 12 videos with it since I got it, and I get amazed at the video quality, like ridiculous. So I'm getting what I'm paying for from a video standpoint. I just need to get more used to the still side of things. So right now, if I want to be completely honest, in video, this is my primary camera. My Canon is my secondary, which I would have to do the manual focus on. If I'm shooting stills, I'm more likely to pick up my Canon 6D as my primary camera, and then the Sony would be my secondary for shooting stills. And that's kind of where we're at the moment. But maybe things will change. But as a initial kind of 13-week review, that's what I'm dealing with. I love the battery life. Battery life's been pretty decent, even with shooting video for extended periods of time. I have noticed that the 4K footage is big. I guess it would be bigger on a Canon, but the file size is still massive. Even on the Sony, I'm going to have to consider getting larger external drives. I put two 64 gig cards in here doing simultaneous. I do like that. So the ability to shoot simultaneously the two cards at once, amazing. I love that. Instant backups. But yeah, that's my review for right now. I'm looking forward to shooting it. It is a joy to shoot, but again, because I'm a traditional Canon shooter, I'm still interested in seeing what Canon will give us from a full frame mirrorless camera. And if the price is right and it matches what this camera does, I can't say that I wouldn't switch. What I would love to do is, but I don't have the money, but keep this camera and buy the Canon one, and then maybe sell this one a little later, but we'll just have to see. But hands down, I really do like the camera. Part of me wishes for stills, but I still need to get used to it. But part of me wishes I could have also the A7III, the one with the 40 plus megapixels for stills. But that would have to be down the road, or even the A9. But I need to shoot more stills with this camera and get used to it to see how I really like it. I think it's great for, I'll be honest, so I have noticed that if you're shooting daylight, mirrorless is perfect. I mean, you can't beat it. There's no adjusting, there's no questioning. What you see is what you get. In event photography where I need to add flash, that's the part I have to get used to, because I had to go in and switch over to some setting to allow me switch over to the setting to turn off live view, so I can just see what's there and then compensate the flash like I would normally do on the Canon. So there's little things like that I didn't know, but hey, you learn on the fly. But all in all, I think it's a great camera. I'm not disappointed in my buy. I have no buyer's remorse. I'm just interested to see what Canon's gonna come out with. So thanks to Sony, you made a wonderful camera. Hopefully, I don't know, I'm either gonna continually buy more Sonys, I'm gonna go back to Canon. It's either or. I don't know if I'll be a mixed brand for too long. Maybe in the lenses, but not in the bodies. I need to be able to memorize one body so that no matter which camera I have in my hand, my muscle memory will take me to the correct position. So we'll see what happens. All right, thanks. All right. So if you have it, please subscribe. Please turn on the bell. Please give me the thumbs up. Please do all the stuff. I have 7 subscribers. Let's get it up to 10. I need 3 more subscribers to get to 10. I only got 7. You can make it happen. Well, I'm not gonna harass you. Just click the button. Click subscribe. Click it. Click. Click. More content to come. See you soon. Bye.